Hi guys, I'm Random Dave. I watched episode 2 of Pokemon Emergency. Yeah, that's just proof in case you don't believe that I actually watched it. Even though that's not really proof I watched it, but I don't care. Anyway, this started off with the recap of the first episode in which the narrator states Ash chose Pikachu. It's not true. Ash didn't choose Pikachu. He was stuck with him for being last. He was the booby prize that Professor Oak had planned. This starts in Viridian City. Ash is running to the Pokemon Center, wants to save Pikachu. And then you hear this announcement on some speaker that to look out for suspicious people because Pokemon are getting stolen, so watch out for your Pokemon. And this is where we meet Officer Jenny. She's standing next to some wanted pictures of Jessie and James from Team Rocket. She sees Ash. He must be a thief because he's carrying a Pokemon. Even though he looks nothing like those pictures of Jessie and James, but he could be an extra thief that they haven't seen yet. Anyway, so he says, I'm a trainer, I'm just trying to get him to the hospital. She's like, I need proof of this. Let me see your Pokédex. And then verifies Ash is really a trainer. That does not prove that he's not a thief. So anyone who's a Pokemon trainer is automatically not a thief in this world. So if you're looking to steal Pokemon, just remember, get a Pokédex. So then they speed off to the Pokemon Center together, and then we see Misty's caught up with them pretty quick, considering she's carrying that bike, which is so heavy it makes her topple over later. But then Ash is weak, so he would have been going slow. Then we're introduced to Jessie and James. We see that they've been floating up in that massive hot air balloon. How anyone didn't notice them, I'll never know. And we find out that their Pokemon Meowth can talk. They don't explain that until much later on in the series, but just take it for granted that Meowth can talk right now. So then Officer Jenny, responsible officer of the law, because there's such a rush to get Pikachu back from weak to back to health, that she decides to burst through the front door of the hospital on the motorbike, skidding to a stop, no regard for anyone who might be by that door. I mean, imagine if I needed to get a dog to a vet. Would the police officers come speeding through the doors of this vet? No, they wouldn't, would they? And then you see that Chansey is a nurse. So Ash phones home, and then that's when you get that really annoying ring, 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 phone call thing, which really, really annoys me. She mentions Ash's dad, saying that at your age it took him 4 days to get to Viridian City. I'm proud of you. So we know Ash has taken less than 4 days to get there, and from what we can see, it's the same day he left Pallet Town. But she asks him, you're changing your underwear every day, aren't you? And it's like, he's only been gone 1 day. It's that night from all we know. And mentioning Ash's dad, who is Ash's dad? I mean, like I say, I've only ever watched up to the Johto series and not even that far into that. So I don't know if he gets introduced later on in the series. But she mentions him. From what I can remember, there's been no mention of him. And she says, you're the apple of his eye. Like in the present tense, not you were the apple of his eye, so I'm taking it he's not died or anything, he's still alive. Maybe he's out Pokemon travel still, but who knows? I mean, I have no idea what's happened to his dad. I mean, maybe it has been explained in the future episodes, so if anyone wants to comment to tell me what's happened to Ash's dad, that'd be great. We see how much of an idiot Professor Oak is. First he uses the wrong camera, which was pretty funny. Then he says, oh, are you phoning from Viridian City? He goes, well, you just phoned Viridian City. Oh, yes. And he says, oh, yes, because I phoned Viridian City and you answered, so I guess you're in Viridian City. It's like, that actually made me laugh. It's quite funny. Anyway, so he says, oh, well, the other 3 have got there already. I've already been to Viridian City. And I'm thinking, well, if they all took a day, these 4 boys all took 1 day to get to Viridian City, does that mean Ash's dad was really, really slow? Because it took him 4 days. And Oak lost $1 million bet to Gary. So Gary's a millionaire now. And he was genuinely upset by this, Professor Oak. And I'm thinking, well, how does money work here? I mean, how does Ash get money to do with his travels, how do they get their money? I mean, I know in the games you get money from winning Pokemon battles, so is that what happens in this universe? Because I don't remember ever seeing money get exchanged after a battle. Misty shows up. She's very annoyed at first, so she falls over with her bike because it's too heavy. But then the moment he mentions Pikachu's ill and might not make it, it's serious, she's suddenly like, "Oh, I'm doing, oh." She's suddenly all sympathetic and cares suddenly, and it's like, alright, so just remember, if you ever want to steal someone's bike, I guess if they confront you about it, just say your dog's dying and then they'll forgive you all of a sudden. But then Pikachu turns up and he's fine, and then Misty's not happy with Ash again. And one thing I like about Meowth is all the cat puns he does throughout the series. And the first one we see today when he says, "I'm top cat around here." And we're introduced to Jessie and James's Pokemon. There's Coughing. He goes, "Coffee!" And Jessie's Pokemon, Ekans. Yeah, I know that's not really an Ekans, but it's a purple snake and it rattles. Marwell Zoo, 10 quid, bargain. And then they do that motto. It sounds so awesome. I think they should do that in every episode, personally. That won't get annoying at all, will it? And it's weird that they're in there. He's done Smog Attack and they're all going, can't breathe. But they're just standing in it doing their motto. They're not fussed by the smog, they're hardcore. They attack them. Ash and Misty and Nurse Joy run off into a room. Ekans and Coffee instantly walk past. They don't notice that they went through that door. That's where all the Pokeballs are kept in this centre. So then they say, let's use these Pokemon to fight them off, and then Ash just throws one. There's a Pidgey, and then there's a Rattata, there's an empty one. And I think, first of all, would these Pokemon obey someone other than their own trainer if they did that? And secondly, why aren't these balls all labelled? I mean, he says, "Oh, some of these are empty," and it's like, so someone comes in, "I want to get my Pokemon back." Okay, try this one. Try this one. It's alright, yeah, try this one. It's like, so you say that, I mean, say if you left a Pidgey at a Pokemon Centre and they say, "Oh, try is it this one? Try it, open it." You open it up and then a Charizard comes out and you're like, "Yep, that was mine." They need to transfer all the Pokeballs to another Pokemon Centre before that, actually I forgot to mention. And they use all these Pikachu to power up the machine. And I'm thinking, well, why don't they just use these Pikachu to fight them off? They're already there, already willing to help them out. So then Misty says, "I'm going to save you. Go, Goldeen." And Goldeen just flops about going, "Goldeen, Goldeen, Goldeen, Goldeen." And it's like, oh, just like in Smash Brothers, it just flops about doing nothing. And Misty says, "Oh, I'm just warming up. You know I can't use water Pokemon. I only have water Pokemon, but I can't use them. I'm just distracting you, I guess." So they run off, and then all the Pikachu... So they use this shock attack on Team Rocket. And then Pikachu wants more power. So Ash powers up using the bike, the light on the bike, which still works, apparently. I mean, you know, that huge thunder shock in the last episode destroyed the bike completely, but it didn't blow that bulb at all. And so that Pikachu uses the power from that flimsy bike lamp to do a mega thunder shock, I guess. And then the hospital blows up. Ash and Pikachu blow up a hospital. Am I the only one disturbed by that? And then Officer Jenny sees it blow up and just says, "Oh, I was too late, but at least I saw the fireworks." You just see a hospital blow up and you just make a joke like that. What a horrible police officer she is. And I guess Ash and Pikachu just blames the blowing up of the hospital on Team Rocket. Makes sense. So Ash and Misty say their goodbyes and go off to Viridian Forest. And Jenny says, "Oh, those three will be just fine from what I've seen of them." And it's like, well, she didn't see any of what happened in this episode. She buggered off. So how does she know they're very good? I mean, they blew up a hospital, yes, but... So, yeah, don't worry, they'll blow up the forest if anything happens. Don't worry, la la la. What is our cliffhanger for this episode? Ash sees a Caterpie. Throws a Pokeball, will he catch it? Misty is scared of it, bug. And then, to be continued. And the narrator says, will he capture the Caterpie? When will Misty get a new bike? That's what we all want to know. Well, we've all played the games. We know what happens if she wants a new bike. Go to Vermilion City, talk to that old man in the Pokemon fan club, and he'll tell you all about his Pokemon, then he'll give you a bike voucher. Free bike. Anyway, that was Pokemon Emergency. Good episode, good introduction to Team Rocket. Some good jokes in there, good action. I quite enjoyed it, so see you on the next one.